how's it going? This is Brian Funk, and I've got a new Ableton Live Pack for you called Dream Organ. Dream Organ is made with samples of the Yamaha PS-20 keyboard. This keyboard is really popular in the dream pop genre, made famous by Beach House, and it's got 10 different sounds in it. They're kind of these almost like toy sounds, but they have a little bit more depth than you would normally find. They've got a lot of character and charm to them. And they've really come together nicely in this Ableton Live Pack that I'm going to show you now. There's a total of 100 different sounds with this pack, an arpeggiator, and also a vintage space audio effect rack, and those you can use on any project. So when we open up our project, this is what you'll see. You'll see on the side here, we've got our stuff going on. The main thing you'll focus on are the presets, and they're all here. The first folder has the presets of the actual sounds of the keyboards. So there's 10 of these, and they're laid out right here, and you can see them in this instrument rack right here. And I'll play you the organ. We can go over to the accordion sound. The clarinet. Some nice movement in these sounds. A little more than your average toy keyboard would give you. Oboe. And probably my favorite, organ too. And each one of these has its own set of macro variations. So you can see right now you got control over your attack, your decay. So we can turn this into a pad right here. We can make it into a pluck. If we change just a few knobs, we've got control over a filter, the resonance of that filter, some drive, and there's even a filter envelope. And one of the really cool controls here is the timbre control. Gives you a much different sound because it changes the way the samples are stretched out across the keyboard. So just by turning that control, you get lots of variation. We have a pitch envelope, so you can do some fun little laser beam noises like that. And the frequency modulation will again change the timbre of your sound pretty drastically. So I'm slowly bringing up the volume on that. And if we change the pitch, we get all different types of harmonics. I find this is best used in moderation. But you have control to make some really weird, crazy sounds too if you want. So the macro variations are all right here. So the first one is always going to be your standard sound. This is the most accurate recreation of the keyboard that you'll find in all of these sounds by just using this first macro variation. But then we got some other sounds that I made that I thought were kind of cool. Passerby, we got bright keys. Emergence. Mystical organ. And every single one of these sounds has its own set of variations. So the piano can sound like you're driving away in a car. Let's see what else. So some more of these. The strings. You have a lot of fun with these sounds just on their own here. Now, where it starts to get interesting, in my opinion, is when we start adding these effect racks in there as well. So there's an arpeggiator rack, and one of the features of the Yamaha PS-20 is it's got this arpeggiator in it. Mine's kind of broken, but I was able to make a more reliable one here. So when you click the off variation, no arpeggiation whatsoever, but then we got some different types of arpeggiators. Sparkle up. So I also tried to make something that can make like these cool little like kind of flourishes. So you just kind of hold the chord or something, and it runs through a sequence of notes real quick, and you've got something that you can put maybe at the beginning of chord changes. Dream sequence. This one reminded me of like the Wayne's World dream sequence. There's a whole bunch. You get a whole bunch of presets here. And there's also on top of that, and we'll pick the going up one. That sounded kind of nice. We've got our vintage space of audio effect rack. Now again, no effects is the first variation where everything is turned off. We can make it sound a little dusty. And that's accomplished mostly with the redux here and a tad bit of chorus. A little bit of space. There's a little bit of reverb there, a little bit of chorus. The 8th note throb. So I'll turn off the arpeggiator for this so you can hear. So this gives you a nice rhythmic kind of chord thing you can do. And if you go in here, you can, change these variations. So we got the tremolo rate. So if we change that, we get a different type of pulse or throb. That can be fun to move on the fly too. Sundream. Gives you a kind of washed out sound there. Let me go to the vibraphone sound here, and we'll try some of the other ones. Faded photo. I'll let you hear the vibraphone clean. It's one of my favorite sounds on this keyboard. It's a cool vibraphone. We can make it unreliable. Fried Circuit is kind of cool because it's using a little bit of redux, but it's using the warmth of the chorus especially to get this kind of broken apart sound. Warbler will make things a little unsteady with your pitch. So what I hope you're realizing is that with just a couple clicks and turns of the knobs, you get a lot of really interesting and useful sounds. Let's maybe broken chimes. To the angels. So that's the first 10 presets, and they're all named according to the name of the actual sound. So they're down here, Yamaha PS-20 accordion, all the way down to the vibraphone. So there's 10 of those. Now there's the crafted sounds. So you got 10 of these. They have 5 variations each. There's 50. And now there's 50 crafted sounds. And these are those instruments all and those effects all put into an instrument rack and dialed in to make these different sounds. So these are really nice because you can just kind of pick and play. And they're all named various things to kind of give you an idea of what they sound like. So for these, I did 5 instruments for each of the type of sound from the Yamaha PS-20, and they're color-coded inside the live set. So the orange ones are all one particular sound. That's the first organ sound. Neat. Then the next 5 would have the accordion. And you can play with these as well, just as you could with all the other sounds. You can just a few clicks. And now these variations that I've created are even totally different. It's kind of cool. I'll skip around a little bit here. Clarinet. And this sounds like it's got a little bit of the pitch movement going on. kind of make things sound a little out of tune and dreamlike. That's kind of the goal I'm trying to do with a lot of these sounds, is make these sort of like spacious and dreamy sounds that you can use for really any style, but especially if you wanted to do like something kind of in the dream pop, lo-fi genres. I think I'm going to be able to use them in a lot of stuff. A fun sound here. And just turning a couple knobs, you really bring these things to life. And there's, of course, there's 50 of these, so we can spend some time going through them, but I encourage you to explore them. You'll have quite a lot of fun, I think. I'm really enjoying them myself. I think they're really beautiful sounds, and something about this keyboard just has a lot of charm, and when you start putting it inside Ableton Live, you put your arpeggiators and your audio effects on there, and you start turning knobs, adjusting the filters. These are things you can't do on the original synth. And mine is kind of broken anyway. It has an arpeggiator, doesn't really work. So it's really nice to take those sounds, get the pure sounds, put them in here, and then do what you want with them. Have a lot of fun taking that instrument to a whole nother level. Thanks so much for watching. Check out the Dream Organ Yamaha PS-20 Ableton Live Pack. It's for Ableton Live 11.1 standard and above. It's the July 2022 thing for my music production club. So if you're a part of the music production club, you've already received this, so check your email or go to your Gumroad library. And it's also available at my store for sale at brianfunk.com. Thanks a lot for checking it out and spending some time with me. Have a great day.